Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia, and it is a lovely Sunday evening here in Richmond. What I've been doing today is I've been starting to paint on the backdrops for the HO scale layout. As you saw in the last video, these are, I wouldn't call them necessarily reversible, but they are two-sided backdrops in which one side will take care of a scene on one side of the layout, and the back side I can take and put it on the other side of the layout. Just depends upon what way I'm wanting to do videos. So this is one of the backdrops, and I've been painting clouds on these today. So I've got this one where the clouds are in. What I'm going to come back in is then do sort of the background ridge with the trees, similar to what I did on the N scale layout. And I got the other one essentially done with that part, and I'll show you what that looks like. Well, here's what the second backdrop looks like. I have, again, cloud cover painted in. I've got sort of the background ridge line, some of the close-up trees painted. This is HO scale, so the foreground trees I've added in with more detail for the areas that are going to be in the back. I'll do the same like I did on the N scale. I will add some additional trees on that filler strip in some of the areas, like this one by that little stream. I will do some three-dimensional work on some of the trees that are there. And then just kind of coming across, there's going to be buildings, flats, and other things filling in a lot of the territory on the back side of this. I get up to the coal yard. You can see I've got a lot of vegetation over in the green area that's in front of the station and at the side of the coal yard. I'll be able to add other things, and I realize that a lot of what I've got for that ridge is going to be covered by building flats in at least a few areas. Some of them, I might just leave it in a lot of spots the way it is because I think it looks pretty good. But, bringing it down where all you're seeing is the layout and the backdrop, I'm still going to probably do that contrail concept for that groove that's going across the top of that board. I think that's going to be kind of fun. I'll look up a picture for an airplane from the early 1950s that would leave a contrail. But I think overall this is going to be a fairly effective backdrop as well. So we'll see how it all looks when I get it all put together. Probably Monday night I will paint up the next backdrop for the ground cover and then put it up in place. And then when it's in place, I'll actually start to paint the clouds on the back side of it for the spot where I'm standing when I bring it over to the other side. So, more to come. Well, just a quick shot of how that backdrop is going to look when I get some flats and some other things up against it. So kind of hard to see a little bit, but I can zoom in, and just some of the stuff that I got off eBay. And it's still got a lot to do, but you can see how that's going to set off with some of the background scenes in there. So those are not put in place yet permanently. I just kind of set them up just to kind of see how it's going to look. But I think that's going to work out pretty well. I think I'm going to be happy with that. I can kind of hide some of the edges with some trees, do some ground cover and some other things in front, and once I finally choose where they're going to go, I will glue them on using full-strength white glue to the backdrop, and should be good. All right, basic painting is done on both of the first HO scale backdrops. Start on the back side of them tomorrow night. It's Tuesday night now. Been out in the garage a little bit after work, kind of doing some painting. So you can see my clouds. I still got some work to do on those. I'm going to actually try adding a little cotton just to give them a little bit of a three-dimensional feel to it. That's going to come later. I've got some on order, not cotton balls, but some strip cotton in the raw form so that I can kind of tuft it and make it look decent. But we'll see how that goes. Coming up here, and that's kind of hard to see. I've Got my little jet flying there. Yeah, I'm still not sure whether I like it or not. I think the contrail effect actually looks pretty decent. But some of the cotton that I get is also going to be meant to hide where those lines go through the clouds. Because that kind of stands out like a sore thumb, that you can see the grooves in the clouds. So if I can get the cotton and if I can get that to work, I can hide those so that the contrail effect actually looks more realistic and workable. The flats I've just got leaning up against the backdrop for right now. And I'm going to look at what I can do, probably add some others, make some stuff out of some of the scrap wood I've got. Same thing here for the contrail. See it going through that cloud. If I can put cotton, the effect of the contrail on either side of it is pretty convincing. I like that look, just the clouds. So we'll see how that goes. But there's the first set of HO backdrops. I can come back in now and I can start to add trees and ground cover in the areas that I know are going to be covered like that. Like the little area here where I've got the little ditch coming out, I can take care of that. I can take care of the green area over by the station. That area of trees back there, I can add ground cover and I can add some more trees to it. Where I've got this tree line sort of coming down and coming into the forefront here by the team track. I can add a couple of trees right in there. Then over here I've got it like a little hillside coming down, picking up some more trees. I can add a little bit more there, and then down in the corner. That still leaves me plenty of room to add some building backdrops, add some other scenery in here, just to kind of make it look, again, some businesses before you're going off into the hillsides. So we'll see how it all comes together. And I'm going to start running some trains for the rest of this video. Well, here we go. You can kind of get an idea on how the reversible backdrop is looking. So from previous clips, you've seen this particular backdrop over on that side of the layout. Let's go over here and take a look at how the other side of it's looking. I just finished doing some painting on it. So here's the side that goes on this piece of the layout. So I've got the clouds in, a backdrop painted. I'll add buildings just like I'm doing on the other side. On this piece, I've got this part done. Going around to the other side, I still have to paint the hills and trees, but I've got the clouds in. So making progress. So I got cotton balls today. And I'm starting to flesh out the clouds. I've got them just kind of ripped, shredded, and just sort of, not even stuck in place, just laying on the clouds that I painted. And so far, so good. It does hide the grooves easily, so the contrail, once I get done, is actually going to look fairly effective. It's going to disappear behind the clouds, come out, and then my little jet that's over there. Just little pieces of cotton attached to some of the smaller clouds, just little shreds of it, just to kind of give them some puffy appearance. Bigger clouds, a lot more cotton. Some of the distant clouds, nothing, just the paint. Same thing over here. A lot of the cotton, and then the background cloud kind of poking through. So I'm going to use hot glue, and I'm going to start putting these down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in with the white paint and blend in the edges, because I'm going to try to get it where I can get the cotton to lay reasonably flat and then come in and plop on paint. I'm not going to be light on it. I don't want it to run, so I'll lay this completely flat. But that way I can kind of blend in the edge, blend it into some of the painted background. I'm not going to do a whole lot where it's poofy, but just to kind of get some of it back. Up top, I'll leave it up a little bit more smooth down at the bottom so it blends in with the painted base. This has the potential to work, or you might see me chuck this whole thing in the garbage when I'm done and start over. We're going to find out here a little bit later. It is Friday evening, so I'm going to work on it a little bit tonight, and we'll see what happens. So here is the overall effect. I have not chucked it in the garbage, which is a good sign. I still got some work to do on it. I'm thinking about what I want to do next. I've got the bottom sort of painted in and blended, and I've pressed the cotton balls in place after I sort of pulled and teased them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back now, and I'm going to put in a little more paint into the cloud itself. See if I can get rid of a little bit of that fibrous look. Not sure how that's going to work. I'm not sure what brush I'm going to use either. I got to be kind of careful so that I get paint in, but not too much that will grab then the cotton and pull it off when I try to bring it out, because then it's just going to be a big mess. So we'll see. I'll figure that one out a little later.